On the quiet down, guys. Quiet down. Quiet down. Talk to me Tuesday. Talk to me Tuesday, man. I've been wanting this to happen for a long time, dude.
Yeah, you got me. You
I
finally
got
got
you.
me.
Finally got you, man. Are you in your studio?
I am. I just walked in trying to catch my breath, running
Okay.
flight of stairs, and I'm just happy to be on. Yep, I just walked into the studio.
Talk about somebody who wears a lot of hats. Oh my God. This is the man, the legend. I've known him. Can I say since you were a kid? I don't can I say you were a kid?
Majority of my life.
Majority of your life, you know? This is the man. For those that are listening out there, maybe you aspire to want to be a person who's in charge of sound equipment, video equipment, maybe a videographer, or being able to be in charge of the sound for bands that are out there in your neighborhood. Because it's not a bad gig. This is the guy right here that's going to tell us how he make it look so easy.
I don't know about making it look easy, but it comes easy to me, but it doesn't look.
Yeah, especially if they when they pay you, that, that makes it feel good, doesn't it?
Yes, that's the reward. That is of the hard work and studying. Yes.
Probably sometimes though, you do have to do some freebies though, don't you? In the beginning when you start off,
Yeah, a lot of freebies.
a lot of
Lot-
freebies. Where were you born, Andre?
What year was I born?
No, 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 no. We're not doing that.
No,
We're not doing it with years. 'Cause then they'll come back on me. Well, where's DC? No, we're not going there. No, where were you born at? Were you born in Detroit area or was it Clarkston? I think I remember you were from. I thought, or down south someplace in the Mississippi. What's wrong? You laughing behind this? I was born
Believe
in
it or
Kentucky.
not, I was born in Pontiac, Michigan.
Okay, Pontiac. You're Yak.
But I did live in Davisburg, Clarkston area, went to Clarkston schools.
Okay, okay. So you're one of those smart guys. Clarkston School is up there. My cousin and his kids go there, man. They
I'm gonna say
they
I'm
they rally. They're very good in sports, athletic, and they're brainiacs, So what is your parents into music? What made you get into music? Or
my
the music
dad,
field? Because you do a lot of things. We're gonna cover all that, but what made you get into the field of music?
my father, he played piano
Okay,
and and trumpet.
okay.
My oldest brother Willie played drums, so that inspired me. So at 5, I'm pulling out mom's pots, pans, lids, beating
Mhm.
on everything.
Okay,
Never since I got to play on his set, I took it. So
okay, okay.
so as you can hear, I started off being a drummer first before sound.
Mhm.
So
And would you guys think about like being like the Jackson Five or the Osmonds or a family band, or you guys went your separate ways?
absolutely not.
No,
No Jacksons, not the Hutchins, the Hutchins
not the
5 or
Jacksons. The Jackson Five. Did you see the movie? Jackson Five
Yeah,
movie?
I did check it.
Yeah, I had one of my friends talk to me about it. They had a very great idea, so I'm going to take her up on this idea about the Jacksons. But anyway, back to you. So, when did you know that it's not a hobby? When did you start off as a hobby, or did you know you were going to make this a career move?
For me, I think it became a career move, when I started getting better and playing out and playing in different places, and people they couldn't get my sound right or what I was looking for.
Okay,
We're speaking on the sound tip. Um, they wouldn't give me what I needed in my monitors. So 16, 17 years old, got introduced to sound and I just kind of had a passion for it. I was 19, 20 when I met Dave Reese, Michigan Sound, let him rest in peace. And he took me under his wings and taught me everything. And I'm just been doing it ever since.
so you transitioned from a drummer into a sound and stage engineer.
Yes.
Okay, okay, but you still play drums though, don't you? I think I s
If the
No,
right
okay,
if the
okay,
right
quiet.
person if the right person say, "Hey, Trey, I got this gig and we got a month to get together, get the stuff down." Something like Derek Washington or somebody,
Okay, right, right.
I might come out of retirement for a gig, but no, I don't play.
Yeah, okay. So you just strictly sound now.
It's just strictly
And
sound and
but
beats. You know,
it's
we can get into that a little bit later.
yeah.
But
So because with sound, you have to do several things. You have to manage, plus do the accounting. I know you do that and manage and get people. You got to buy equipment. You have to do it. It's quite a few things that you have to overcome and master, especially at this time a day or at this age that we are at now. Pretty much got everything down packed, other than little surprises that pop up on you. Have you ever had a couple surprises pop up on you?
all the time, especially on gigs, and they don't tell you. You say, send over a writer, send over your input list.
Hmm.
And hey, oh, I failed to tell you, but I always be prepared.
Okay. So would you
Preparation.
keep extra
Yeah.
chords or
I'll
extra
keep extra
speakers or
cords, extra mics, extra
yeah.
DI,
Okay.
extra in. Yeah, always be prepared.
And being prepared, I've seen a lot of nowadays, a lot of these cats are using wireless microphones and stuff. Do you cater that? Then you run across some cats, I've run across some artists who don't like wireless. They want a cable. So what's your experience with that?
I carry both.
Okay.
Um, on any given gig, I'll take at least what 8 wirelesses.
Hmm.
At least
Okay.
that's the bare minimum usually. And hardcore, I got cases full of mics. So yeah,
Cases
because
stacked up.
you never know what a preference is going to be.
Hmm.
Industry standard is a SM58, you know, but you never know. Somebody might want a buyer's microphone or Sennheiser. There's so many brands out there.
Hmm.
So I have a variety on hand because I never know what I'm going to run into.
Okay. I've seen, I know what it means, but maybe the audience don't. Where I've seen red tape on a microphone, a blue tape, a green, yellow. Tell the audience what that means, or why do you have tape on a microphone?
To
And
identify what microphone that is,
mhm,
most people need to know so they know the speed. If they need to turn the mic up, make adjustments, whatever, they know what microphone that is. So sometimes they'll use the color system to identify which microphone.
okay. So if you're doing a stage, a play or something, especially a play where you got 12 or 24 people with microphones, you can be able to, that'd be hard
Body,
on the
pa-
colors though. About 24
body,
different
body,
colors.
body packs are a little bit different. We do the
Okay.
null system. So we'll go anything from lab 1 to lab 24, 25, 30, whatever it is. And what I usually do is when I go in and do a play production, scene by scene, I'll learn faces. I don't learn the actors. I put a number with them. So I know when I see, um, whatever actor coming out on stage, I know that's 1, that's 5, that's 7, that's 8. You know what I'm saying? So I'm unmuting and so forth. But
Is
yeah,
Is it easier to do, stage plays versus bands and concerts and things of that
stage
nature? Outdoor
plays are
concerts and festivals?
harder to do plays, but I
Okay.
love to. That's actually my specialty. I
Plays.
love on productions. Yep, play
Okay.
production along those lines. Um,
Why do you love them?
it's more challenging. The challenging is, you know, uh,
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
I call came in. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So we're between 24, 28, 30 microphones um, that can take off on you at any given time.
Okay. Alright.
So,
That's interesting.
so
Well
with that and managing a band, usually most play productions have a full band as well and background vocal.
mhm. Well, with that being said, so what plays that you can name off or what band or musicians shaped you, kinda mold you, that you learned quite a bit from that made you what you are today? If you can name one for each band and then maybe some singers or something, and then a play you
So
did.
play, I would say, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" I
Okay,
did
you did
that
that
one.
one. Alright.
I was on the road with that one for a little bit.
Okay.
Uh, bands? Oh, let's throw a rock. That's, um, um, I did everything from gospel to jazz to rock to. There's just so many groups out there, and I hate to name drop. I do.
Yeah, yeah. Because
I
they gonna
hate.
say you didn't
I
call
hate.
my band.
Right, and people that name drop like, oh, you just, you know, I'm not
Hmm.
that type of guy. But I
Okay.
did a variety of bands in my close to
Well,
40 years doing this.
as you were doing these things, what caught you by surprise? What made you say, "Oh, I didn't see that coming," or just make your eyes pop up, just like, "Oh, whoa." Besides, maybe somebody want to cuss you out for some reason. Hey, you didn't turn my mic up, or you turn my mic off, or whatever.
Uh, I think,
Singers could be pretty sensitive.
yeah, I've learned to work around singers.
Okay.
Singers and pastors, yeah, I'm good with them. The stuff I did more church work, so that type stuff I can work with. I think to answer your question would be I did a rap show
A rap
and
star.
a rap show,
Okay,
and
rap show. Ooh, but that's
yeah,
kind of dangerous.
and they chucked my wireless mic in the crowd.
I'll just do it.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I'm
Didn't
just
see that.
imagining. Yeah, yeah. Because usually they do that with drop the mic thing, which is
No,
not good either for the microphone wireless mics, but
but
they do that.
they
That's a
do it in
signature.
the crowd, and we couldn't get the retriever. We couldn't retrieve the microphone.
Somebody grabbed it and walked with it.
Yeah, it's like, ah, got
Was it
so
one of the
big.
expensive, very expensive mics?
To replace the transmitter was $1,000.
Oh my. Well, how do you combat that? Because another somebody else might do the same thing again. How do you stop that from happening?
Charge a bigger deposit.
Okay. Have that in the waiver in the yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
no. You just
if you
collect the
damage or
money
lose
up
these
front.
mics, you're gonna come out this deposit. I see
Yeah,
it.
or to make the show worth your while. If something
Hmm.
like that happens, you know, I'll do your gig. And why does it cost so much?
Okay.
It is what it is.
Mhm.
You just have
And
to factor those in.
do you practice being earlier than the time of the gig, or like real early to make sure things are set up right, make sure everything's in the way it should be way before the, or do you just get there on a certain just enough time to set up? Okay, let's run it. No
Mm,
way.
I've always allowed myself 3 to 4 hours setup
3 to 4 hours. That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
time. I allow anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half for sound checks. Um, Depending on the band, some bands want a little more time. And it's not necessarily sound checks after to get sound check done. They just want to run through a few songs and prepare, make them comfortable because it's all about the artist at that moment. So, if they want to run through a few songs, that's cool and they get comfortable. Because the more they get comfortable, the more they relax and get comfortable with the sound guy.
Okay.
Because
Well,
people fail to miss a sound guy can make you or break you.
that's true. So can a drummer. No, no, I wasn't throwing no shame on you, no shade on you, Jay. But I'm just saying, drummers make or break a band too. So
Yeah,
it's a lot
timing
of
and
things.
everything else. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, it is. It
Speaking
is.
of, let's try let's go back in the past because
Okay.
we used to because playing with you we used to do debutantes.
Yeah,
Do you remember the debutantes?
I do remember the debutantes. Was the AKAs and what's the other ones? And then when them ladies see me, they're gonna cuss me out because I just mentioned
You
their
don't
names.
see. That's why you
How-
don't name drop. That's why
right,
right there.
right, right. How come you named the
That's why
AKs?
you
You
don't
didn't
name drop.
name us.
You just but
Deltas.
you're
The
supposed to say,
Deltas.
hey, yeah, I remember the debutantes,
The
and then we
Deltas,
go
yeah.
from
They're all of them are great. They're beautiful women, and they got their game together. They got everything together, and I love what they do for young ladies who are coming out of high school. That's beautiful. I think they still do it, but I don't know for sure because I haven't kept up with it. But I really hope they still do that because it was a great event. But what were you
yeah,
going to say about it? Just
yeah.
remember.
Because we had what 2 or 3 drummers back then doing
Yeah.
doing the debutantes,
Hmm.
and just surprisingly most of the waltzes were 3/4 time.
Yep.
And a lot of drummers that don't know 3/4 time, but play it every day and don't realize you're playing it. So I think that's what made me a hit of one of your favorite drummers, because the 3/4 was not one of my issues.
Okay.
So, yeah. So just not throwing shade or anything, but I love those days of the debutante. And what were some of the other gigs we did? Because we did quite a few stuff.
There's quite a few, quite a few.
Depending on what band you were playing in at the
You're gonna
time.
try and depend on my memory. We're not gonna make it through this show. But what I do want to ask though, what are some things that, and I've asked other musicians this question, what are some things that musicians or people who are into sound and musicians talk about, or symbols or things that you do that the audience never have a clue on or know about? Like in some cases where you have in baseball where they're doing signs and stuff behind catching a
Yeah.
pitcher. And in
I
some
don't,
cases in football, the coaches covering their mouth up and saying something to do whatever, So
I'm glad
what
you asked that question,
yeah, yeah.
because I'm trying to see if I have a microphone up here. Because since you want to give away secrets,
Uh-huh.
um, thought I had one. I do. Bear with me.
Take your time. You have children, Dre? You have kids?
Lord, do I have kids?
Okay. And do they want to be like you?
I have my oldest daughter is a certified sound engineer.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Certified the whole nine. Is
Hmm.
she working in this field as of right now? No, she took a break. Um, but she's a very successful young lady doing what she does, and she loves what she. But she is a certified engineer.
And would you say she was inspired by you?
She didn't have no choice. When she was a little girl, she went on every gig. You saw me, you saw her. She's actually mixed a few gigs when she was younger.
Oh, that's nice.
I had to take a potty break, and she would sit there and make it happen. So, yeah.
Well, to make things happen again, for those who are out there listening, if you want to call in and ask Andre any questions, the number is 248 736 2100. That is 248 736 2100. We can ask myself or Andre any questions as we continue on this. So, did you find what you're trying to get to look for? Okay.
Where
How much
is
what that might cost?
uh this one's not as expensive. About 800. It's got a K8 head on it, and the head alone element is aftermarket. Is about $600. But if you ever see a singer grab the mic here, closer, not covering the ball, but grabbing it higher, that's usually a sign of saying, I need more in my weight.
Okay.
That's professional singing.
I find funny a lot of times is when they they grab the wireless mic, but they don't turn it on, or they don't know it's not on. And then so they talking or singing or whatever, and then they want to blame you real quick. The sound
Right.
it's because your fault.
Or the sound man nightmare, the favorite that they
Yeah,
like to bang on the
yeah,
mic.
yeah. And then somebody yell in the audience, turn it on. Well, we can't even turn it on. And they look at the bottom and they examine it. Oh, okay. I guess I need to learn how to turn the microphone. For some reason, they assume that it's already on. And a lot of times they are. I'm
Well,
not throwing shade on
I'm
them either, because
I mean,
sometimes they do.
I always leave them on. I turn them on way before showtime. I turn them on, and I go further and lock them out where you can't turn them on. Because I've had that experience where someone turn it on and then they walk stage and then they don't know how to turn it back on.
Okay.
So I would turn them on, and a lot of these wireless mics have features where the higher end ones you can lock them out. So
I was just going to ask you, how long does the battery last? About average.
average 8 hours.
Okay, that's a pretty good show
Uh,
because most shows about 4 hours
yeah.
on the
So
average, 4 to 5 hours.
the newer mics that take double A's, they last about 8 hours.
So, Joy, in all the hats you wear, how do you balance that all out? You know, your creativity of how the show should go. I'm sure you have an artistic design of where you plumb things out, and then you do the finance of it. Then you got to get a truck, and you got to do your taxes. You're in a studio right now. We're gonna talk about that in just a second because you have a studio. Because that was another question I was gonna ask is when it comes to recording studios, how much different is that when it comes to just doing sound for someone outside versus inside a studio? So balance all that for me.
Where do I start? Um, you're only as good as the team that's around you. That's the first one.
So you have a team.
Uh, I do have a team. It took me 18 years because I did this for by myself for the longest. Um, so the engineering part of it comes natural, but I have a team. I have certified engineers around me. Uh, balancing, good accountant or amazing wife that's been kind of juggling things. So, uh, just keeping the book straight. I amazing team. I just put everybody to work, put trust in people, and let them do what they do.
So it
Uh,
works to get qualified people who kind of knows the
oh,
business.
absolutely,
Okay. And know what you're
ab-
doing and what your goal is.
absolutely,
Okay. Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
absolutely. I mean, it's a lot for one person.
Mhm.
It is a lot because even just mapping out for one gig, preparing for a gig. I'm a guy. I can do a gig today and have a gig on Thursday. I will still pull the whole rig out, go through the whole rig, repack, re-go through everything to make sure everything's gonna go good. Um, preparation, preparation, preparation. You
Oh,
know,
I got
so
a preparation question for you because a lot of times when you was just talking about the debutante, for example, and many times the band and everyone who's all involved has to dress up in suit and tie. But the sound guys, I don't care what show you're going to go down to Fox or it'd be one of these big shows, little shows. The sound guys never dressed up. Is that something you guys you are able to avoid being dressed up in suits and everything? What is the code of ethics for that? Talk a
I
little bit
try.
about that.
It depends on the gig. If it's a
Okay.
black tie affair, hey, you better dress to the nine. It
Okay.
is what it is. But if it's just your average gig that don't require a dress code, yeah, you want to be comfortable because you never know if you're got to dig out stuff or go through cable trunks or change out a wire or do whatever. You want to be comfortable. Move quick, fix the issue, and be able to not worry about clothes. You know,
Okay.
as you can see, I'm a big guy, running, I always snag something, get hung up on something. It's
Okay.
not something I want to get a tux or something tore up on if it doesn't require to wear a suit or a tux, So jeans, black shirt, all black. It's usually the norm, all black, and keep it moving.
Tell me something
So
about your oh, yes, something else to say. Go ahead.
you were asking about the studio. Um, I don't have an average studio. We have the training center.
Okay, talk about that
So,
because you're getting students. You're bringing in some funding and grants and different things. Let me hear a little bit about that.
so, I did start a training school, which you did see part of and I appreciate you because you helped out a lot. When we were going through the stages of getting the building ready, and it's up and running now, and we do everything from audio engineering to video production, from learning how to set up cameras, balance cameras, what camera shots to look for
Okay.
producing
Yeah.
all the shots, images that go on the screens, video walls, uh, showing people how to put stuff together as far as content to put on screens or video walls, uh, everything along those lines, lights, um, kind of what you're doing, showing people how to prepare for podcast shows, what equipment, different things to use in content. I mean, you can have all the gear, but if you don't have the content,
Right, right. And
so
now you're over on Northwestern Highway. Is that Southfield or what city is that?
feel.
Okay, go ahead and plug yourself in, man. Get an address and tell them what you're doing. Use my platform for that. Go ahead. And
Well, we're in Southfield, Northwestern Highway, right on uh, pretty much the corner of Franklin and Northwestern. Um, there's no point in me saying the address, but I'll give you the landmark, which is the Dunkin' Donuts. We're in the upstairs part of the Dunkin' Donuts on the second level. Got the whole
okay,
second level,
yeah,
and we're we're doing our thing up here, doing teaching and lighting and audio and video. We have a few podcast studios up here where people can come up here and just, get your content out.
okay.
And you
Now,
have the
is there a charge for
after
the
school.
school?
My golden vision was to try to do everything free and try to get sponsorship. Uh, when I got into this, I thought this was going to be easy, but running a 501c3 is not.
It'd
Is
be
not.
easy, as they say. Everybody be doing it. So,
It is not easy. It is a lot of work. It is hard.
but
And
it's fun work if you love what you're doing, though. I love what I'm doing, so I just look at it as fun. You know, it is a
and
lot of work.
and I do it. And everybody doesn't see your vision and what you're trying to do. But I'm committed to it. Uh, so there's a lot of days I come up here. I pay a lot of this out of my pocket. To this point. But I just want to reach one, teach one, if you will, and share my knowledge with other people. And seeing if this is what you want to do to take it further. I'm older now. Music is always going to be around. You know what I mean? Bands, music, and if you could show people how to do stuff the correct way, that's my goal.
If I remember correctly, you also have a strong hand on people who work the sound equipment at churches and the videography at churches. So there are thousands of churches all over the country, all over Detroit area that could use this. And if your church is there and you got a sound guy who doesn't know all the technical aspects of making the sound for the minister or the musicians or whatever you have that are utilizing sound system, your school would be the place for them to go to. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's what inspired me to do it as well. Not only just reaching kids, but I go to lots of churches just doing repairs, upgrades, installing sound systems.
You teach that
But
also?
absolutely,
Okay. Okay.
absolutely troubleshooting, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
So, again, like you said, if there's some churches out there um, that want to further your audio and video AV team, because we don't just do sound, we do video as well, content for the screens, um, different things for the background. If the pastor get up, what's appropriate logos to put up there, or
Right. Right. Or
show.
the scripture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The overlays because you're just layering stuff,
Yeah.
and you can take so many different things, and sometimes you might have a title of a message, and you want to put something that goes along with what he's about to preach about. So it doesn't always have to be a Bible.
Yeah. A lot of them, I've seen some of these churches, they're putting commercials and ads and stuff. Well, the kids are doing this coming up next week. Be a part of this or support this or do this, before church
So
even start.
we have a wonderful team that works with us that teaches all that, how to
Okay.
create video announcements, how to put the whole package together and run video announcements, whether it be a video or it's the still picture slideshows, um, what have you. We're just trying to get this information out there and just make people aware and give you the knowledge. So,
Well,
absolutely.
speaking of knowledge, we are in the AI world now. So, what is your mindset on AI? How it has kind of blanketed across, well, actually, the world. I won't say the United States, but the world is is digging in. Everybody's doing it. It's being a part. How is it a part of your life? And are you taking advantage of it, or you like it or don't like it? How is that evolved in your life with your things and the things that you do?
I'm going to tell you, like I just told my students on Saturday, take advantage of the AI. Uh, when it comes to content, because everybody's not good with Canva, everybody don't have Final Cut Pro to take information or pictures and put your own video stuff together or video clips. So AI has came such a long way where you can get good quality stuff and content and use it in your to your advantage. So we don't discriminate from it. We actually say use it, support it,
Mhm. Okay.
and show them the correct way how to put content together and work it in what formats. So it will play on your video wall or your screen because there's still dimensions depending on how big your video wall. So there's a lot of people coming asking questions. And I love it that we can answer those questions.
So,
So
speaking of questions, what advice would you give, a musician or a young talented person? Maybe they're not into the arts or music. What would you give them that are struggling, or those who are trying to stay in their lane, or build confidence for the people that are watching the show?
uh, break that question down a little bit more. My mind is wired different from everybody else. Because when you just said what you said, I hear about 20 different things in that
Yeah.
question.
Okay. All right. So, what would you tell a young person that's watching this show? Someone in their 20s or 30s who um, are struggling because you struggled. What kept you staying the course? Because I've watched you and I watch you. Have some difficulties every now and then, but you stayed the course. You say, "I'm giving this up. This is not me. This is not for me because I'm having too many problems." What stopped you?
Honestly, to keep it real with you, if we want to be real and honest,
Yeah, we do.
every day is a struggle. There's days that I do, even though I'm committed to this, when it comes to the financial part of it, I can't. I don't think I can do this anymore. But then I'll wake up the next day and say, I'm committed to this. So it just got to get to a point within inside you. You just say, hey, I do this for a purpose, a reason. I want to help other people. So is it about the money or is it about sharing your knowledge? So I would say to a young person that's whether it be a musician or this is what you want to go in the lane of video or audio, um, find your lane or your purpose. Once you find it, perfect it as best as you can. Put the time in. The reward will pay off. I promise you. Because this that I do is open many, many doors. It's taken me many, many places. I've been travel. I get plane tickets to send for me. I mean, literally get paid to do what I do because of the knowledge and I put the hard work in. So if that is something to kind of throw a carrot out there, you know, it will open doors.
Okay.
Trust.
What I know you
Trust.
met a lot of famous people. Tell me about some people that are out there that maybe in the gospel or in the world or either way, blues, whatever. Tell me about some people that you know that are well
We
known.
go name dropping again.
Yeah, you
Steve,
are. You met Stevie.
I met Stevie.
Where would you see him at?
I'm going to tell you something about Stevie, and I hope I don't get in trouble. Stevie, forgive me. Stevie Wonder is not 100% blind.
Somebody else told me.
Stevie Wonder sees shadows.
Somebody else told me that.
So when my first time meeting Stevie Wonder, he says, "You are a big boy."
See a big boy. See,
Uh,
if you can't see, how would you know that? Unless you
That's
feel my
what I said
presence,
too. I said,
feel his huge presence.
"Yeah, he sees shadows. He could see the silhouette of what it is, but he can't. There's no color. There's no extent of what it is. He sees
Okay.
shadows.
Well, yeah.
But he let me know you are a big boy.
Well, he is blessed, Stevie, and you're blessed to see him. I would love to meet Stevie. I had a chance close maybe to meet him out in California at the NAM show, but our paths didn't didn't actually cross. I was hoping they would. There were potentially where they could have crossed, but at the NAMM show, so much is going on. People are this. That's another story. We'll get into that later. So what?
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was my honor. I had a part in the Rita Franklin homegoing service.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
I did the. I was one of the engineers. There was two of us.
Hmm.
That it was over 10 hours, so we split the duties on that one. But we did the live stream. We did the live audio and did the pool. So there was a pool box for all the outlets, all the news
Hmm.
stations, CNN. We did all the audio for them.
That's a
So
huge honor.
it was, and there were so many people that came back in the room where we were. So we met so many people that I don't think I would have met in this lifetime. But yeah, because a little bit of who's was at that
Yeah,
humble.
a little bit. All the who's was there. But didn't she have 2 funerals or something? I heard said that she changed clothes or something. Somebody said that I wasn't there, and
Um,
I think it had something to do with
yeah,
I couldn't
I
watch
can't,
all of it, but,
I can't answer on that one.
yeah.
Um, my day had started like at 6 a.m. that day, and we didn't get out of there until I started. It was dark when I left. It was dark. I'll just leave it at that. It was a long day.
How
So
do you go about advertising to get gigs like that? Maybe some people are listening, like, wanna do what you do, but they don't know where to start at, or how do you put your name out there, or just Facebook or social media, or what is it that you have to do
that
to get
particular,
known?
I can't even call that one a gig. Um, I was just in the right place at the right time. I was an engineer for the Word Network.
Yeah, I
Um,
see that
all
a
the
lot.
all the media outlets wanted a part of that service. I mean, everybody, 247, 6250. You know what I'm saying? CNN. It Everybody wanted some kind of. So the Word Network is a Fister Network station, and I was one of the engineers there, along with Mike Williams and Dave Whitelaw, a few other engineers. And the portion they gave us was the audio for all the audio going out to all the networks. So I was honored to take one of my councils in and set it up and make that happen. So um, yeah,
When we do the mix, because I asked this about musician, do you find that people who mix in California mix different than people in New York or versus Florida and Texas or Detroit and Chicago? Do you guys all like, because the different musicians also play a little bit to me different than they play from one part of the world versus another part. How do you feel about mixing? When I know when I hear a Quincy Jones sound on LP or whatever, if you guys want to date me, or it sounds so rich, it sounds so full. I can tell when there's a Quincy Jones production.
everybody has their own style or their own. Let's put it this way. Um, I hope I can use this as an analogy that makes sense. You're a bass player.
Yes,
So the
at least I call
rudiment,
myself one.
you are a bass player. You bass player of bass players. I just said you were one of the guys who had me come out of retirement. So um you have your rudiments. So there is a standard that industry standard you follow, whether it be uh the key you're playing in, the rudiments, the notes, you know, you have your standard part of what you got to do. Same thing with audio. You have your standard of what you're going to do, but every engineer put their own tailor on it, put their own spin or creativity. That's what I like about it. Because after you build your mix and you're mixing whatever flavor, whether it be your effects or your delays or your creativity is where you make the.
Are you saying there's no difference between when you listen to a sound, you can't say, "Oh, that's East Coast," or "Oh, nope, that's the West Coast"? Because I know, as far as I don't know if I could say rappers were different because between Tupac and Biggie type of thing. I don't know if I could throw that in there or not. Probably not. Probably not. But I
Uh,
thought some guys can say they can tell where some songs in the rap you talked about rap earlier came from maybe Houston, Texas versus Atlanta, Georgia versus Detroit rappers versus Chicago rappers or New York rappers and LA rappers. You know what I'm saying?
let
So
me
there
let
are
me
some
take it
certain styles.
let me take it from this standpoint. Because engineering, we're amplifying what the artists or the bands are doing.
Yes.
So the bands and the music part of it would be a West Coast or East Coast,
Okay.
or we're just amplifying and making it sound wonderful. We're blending it. We're leveling it all off and adding whatever sweetness to it. You know what I'm saying? They're building the foundation. We're adding the extra little flavor to it, whether it be reverb or delay or what have you. So the music itself is what's going to make it the genre what it is, not the engineer.
Let me tell you something.
Cool.
From a bass player perspective, I found that when the sound guy's a drummer, the drums sound beautiful.
Not this.
If the sound guy's a bass player, man, the bass sounds excellent. I mean, I think that there's probably about in me what I've seen 10% where everything sounds great. But if that person it likes one particular instrument, that instrument be like if he's a guitar player, it'll be
Risky.
slightly that and they ain't
Yeah,
supposed to do that. I'm sure they're not. It's supposed to everybody's supposed
yeah.
to sound good. But
No, it
I can
should
see
be
it
enough.
seems to me that they play favor. So maybe I'm sure you're gonna tell me, no, we don't play favor.
No, 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 you're right. But
Oh,
I don't.
okay. I'm right.
You're
Okay.
right. You do. So if it's a guitar player is going to stand out and put it. Okay. Quick story. Back in October, I had to go to Texas. I got called in to do a event in Texas, and their engineer is a guitarist. And I was mixing. He was like, "Turn the guitar player up." I know he's in the mix. I hear him. He's good. I'm smacking his hand. Don't touch. Don't mix over it. You guys brought me in to mix. I'm smacking the hand. Don't mix over it because I even though I'm a drummer, I don't make the drum stand out in the mix. I make it sound like a record as best as I can. That is my goal. I want it to be a nice, even kill mix
That'd be the way to go.
across
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah.
I do not want it to be, wow. I want the drums to sound like thunder. Don't get me wrong. If it's a big venue, I want them punchy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I want the bass punchy. I want the guitar player heard. I want everything nice, like you. I'm going to give you that concert feel and make sure it's a nice, even blend across the board, not a favorite. So not every engineer is the same.
Okay.
You have some engineers out there. Their goal is I want to keep working.
Yeah.
At
How
the end
you
of the
would
day,
think. So you make sure you do everybody right evenly,
yeah,
especially the
I want,
person that paid you to do the job. You want to make
yeah,
sure that they're
I want,
they're happy and the audience love your work, so they can hire you again, no doubt.
that is the adrenaline for me.
Hmm.
Is when I see the crowd into it and they're getting with the band, and I could step back after it's over and said, "Hey, I played a part in that. I did that. I amplified them and made them sound really good." That is the you know, because for the longest I didn't do studio stuff
Okay.
because the
Now,
studio it's a different animal, and studio you can stop, start, do it over again, fix this. Live sound, you're flying at the seat of your pants.
now,
You start there's no room for feedback. You know what I'm saying? So you
right,
start
right.
back and making mistakes. They look at like, dude, do you know what you're doing back there? So that's adrenaline. That's for me to know I can make it sound amazing. It doesn't feedback, So for a while, it just took me a while to get in the studio, but now I'm doing studio stuff now. So I love about the same now. You know, when I was younger, I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do studio."
Okay. Now, are you guys? Do you guys have a union across the board for sound guys? Is there a union?
There are unions. Um, right now I am not in a union.
Okay.
But there are union. There's a union in Ann Arbor and in Detroit.
Okay.
Um, that's just for production work. Whether you're a grunt worker, setup guy, sound guy, a rigger, there are unions to do all this stuff.
Okay. And didn't weren't they in unions out in Hollywood, California? They went on strike or something like that, or doing production,
I think that was TV
or
production
was that the
actually.
actors? I don't know.
The,
I'm not sure. It was
I,
something along those
I'm not-
lines.
I believe it was the actual production crew for Hollywood that went on strike.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, if you could go to any studio to mix, or or go places that you play before, or not play, but you done the mix before, anywhere in the world or the country that you've played before, or performed, or done the mix before, where would you like to go that you've had the most fun, or the best experience, or just it did something for you, or just you had a great time? The people were fun, everybody treated you nice,
That's everywhere. But
everywhere. Okay.
if yeah,
Okay.
um, the arena that they tore down that I really hate that we couldn't have kept going. That
Silverdome.
I think I had. Say it again.
I said the Silverdome.
And you're right. That's what it was.
What? I was just joking.
No, it was
No,
the
the Silverdome was great though. I mean,
Pontiac Silverdome. I mixed in there a few times.
yeah, I did a few
And
gigs there.
and that was fun.
Mhm.
That that was fun. I'm not gonna name drop the first person that got me in there mixing
Okay.
on the yard line.
Okay.
Um, I will say the band, Night Mission Band. Does that click with you?
It does click with me and the
It-
people who were part of that.
yeah.
In fact, I was on the
Mm,
phone today with one of the ex-members today, one of
yeah.
the
So
members. So yeah.
Ni- Night Mission Band. I was had an opportunity for a mayor's ball. I was mixing front of house for them, and then I did a gospel convention in the Pontiac Silverdome uh, for full gospel, and that's when Dietrich Hatton was really huge. First came out. He was the special musical guest, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So, in the Pontiac Silverdome, uh, been a few arenas, but I think that was probably the most fun.
W Talk to me about social media. What is your take on social media in all this, and maybe LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn is, to me, sometimes is part of social media, but it's also part of something else as far as business is concerned. What is your association with, the Facebooks and Instagrams and all that stuff? Where you set on that?
I shouldn't say this. I suck at it, but that's why I tell them my daughters. I have two, my younger daughters. I got a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old, and they've been amazing with the social media for me.
Okay. Okay.
But I turn it over to the younger generation.
I see.
Um,
Yeah.
I suck at
Yeah.
it.
But
Along with the many hats that so j-
yeah.
I have post some stuff and I try to use it to my advantage. But they kind of stepped in and was like, Dad, let us proofread whatever or
Don't
watch
you do
whatever.
this.
Yes.
Because they
Because I
see what you posted. They say, "Wait, not that. Wait, oh, we gotta put a stop to this." They probably
yeah,
talk. They probably had a meeting. No,
yeah,
no, we
check
gotta
this out.
stop that. We gotta stop that.
Dad,
Man,
Dad,
it's embarrassing
Dad,
us.
you don't quite understand that part of it, but
Right,
let's hope
right.
it
He's putting some
uh,
things out there he shouldn't be putting out there, or yeah. And is that your dad? We seen on social media. So yeah.
yeah. So they
Well,
try to
let me hit you with this last question. And then I'm gonna give you the opportunity to ask me any question. I always give my guests a chance to ask me a question that they always want to know. Ain't much about me, you probably don't already know. But anyway, if you could, who would be your star show, your Mount Rushmore? Who would be your Mount Rushmore that you've done? And you mentioned some great ones today. Oh my God. You mentioned a lot of great ones, but who would be your Mount Rushmore of performers that you would put up that you would like to have mixed for and done and that you will find highly favor, let's put it that way?
I'll tell you who I would love to mix for that I haven't had a chance to.
Who was
Well,
that?
I did. I
Well, I mean
did.
I mean,
I
I'm
take
saying
that back.
live or dead, and
No,
people
no,
who
no, no.
if you haven't made
We're not
mixed
going
for, you
there.
can tell me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going there. No, I did, but not one of her shows. She was a performer, but not one of her shows. I would love to do Fantasia.
Fantasia. Ooh,
I
that's
would
an
love
exciting.
to. You know why I would love to? Because she's the whole package wrapped up in one. She's gonna give you a little gospel. She's gonna give you a little R&B. She's gonna give you a little. Uh, she's gonna give it everything from a ballad to to all the genres. She hits it all. And she's going to have you laugh, cry, scream. You're gonna get a little bit of everything in her concert from start to finish.
Would you use effects on her concert? I mean,
Oh,
don't you or
absolutely.
do you you use reverb and what else do you use?
Whatever delays, reverbs,
Mhm.
whatever that's going to require to and then you got some artists that's like, no, I don't want that. I don't
No
want
effects at
nothing.
all. Nothing.
Just run it dry. Just
Don't wet it. Don't wet it at all.
my natural voice. And then depends on the room, the arena. Because you can have enough room to be live enough where you don't need.
Explain reverb to people for our listening audience so they don't know when, especially when they say we want you to wet it, they kind of talk about reverb. So, what is some of the effects do to people? Because a lot of people have no clue in what an effect is or how that works when it comes to sound and people singing.
Well, a reverb is kind of a echo in the room, or you have a long or short, and it just make the room sounds big. Or if you ever walked into a bathroom or a large room and it's real live and it just sounds echoey, that's kind of a reverb. That's a natural sound. Delay is just a repeat. So I can take an end of a phrase and they might just want it to hang out there a little bit longer, and I'll catch it at the right point and it'll just make it linger for a few more seconds. So
So, but you would never do the musicians flange or the drummer's delay or reverse delay
if we
on
go
that
to
on the drummer's
like,
snare,
oh,
nothing like that. That's not you.
depends on the song or what style of the music. We might throw a little reverse gate or reverse reverb gate or something like that on a snare. Drums, I would run gate like on a kick drum,
Hmm.
not reverb, just a gate
Okay.
on top if it's needed. Um, whatever toys or compression or whatever on whatever instruments that's needed, because a lot of instruments you don't put gates on. I've walked into churches and I'm like, why is there a gate on everything? I mean, there's a gate on vocals, there's a gate on drums, there's a gate on keyboards, there's a gate on the playback. I'm like, you're playing a CD for God's sakes. Why you got a gate on
We
it?
got to get that for a CD.
It's like there's like, well, our system's going in and out. It's chopping up.
Yeah, I bet it is. And all
Yeah.
these things we can learn from your school, right?
Yes. So I walk in and I'm like hitting buttons. I'm like, try it now. What did you do? It sounds wonderful. You don't want to know.
Or you come to the school and we'll
Yeah,
teach you
we'll teach you what to
how
do and
this
what not to do.
how this works. You know.
Yeah, yeah. We talked about the formula and the you know standard of engineering. So yeah, went to school and
Do you offer a certificate?
we do
Okay.
at the end. Oh, we do.
All right.
So
That sounds all interesting. Here's the opportunity. Again, I'm gonna be thanking you 1,000 times, man. I certainly appreciate you giving me your time, and letting the audience know those who are looking to
I'll
be in
tell
this
you
type
what.
of business. Mhm.
Since you gave me a plug, can I take another second for another
Sure.
plug?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Um, if anybody want to donate to our school, there's Giflify. If you go into Giflify or download the app and just go to Big Audio, Video, Production Training Skills, will pop up. 100% right off there. Zeffy's another one. You can find us under Zeffy as well. You will get a letter for, you know, donating to our 501c3 nonprofit organization. So we are a 100% nonprofit organization, so you can write this off. So every help, every little bit helps. We appreciate it. So
Yeah,
thank you in advance.
that's perfect. All right.
So
You got your chance to ask Mr. Washington, D.C. Washington. Some people say, well, what is D.C.? It's Derek Charles, for those out there who don't know. Derek Charles Washington. They call me D.C. Washington or Washington, D.C. So, Dre, what have you always wanted to know but was afraid to ask, or you thought it's too personal, or you thought maybe I forgot to ask him this or that? What would you like to know? Our listening audience might want to know.
mm,
I'm glad he really doesn't have one. That's cool. It works for me.
this is unfair because Derek is like a big brother to I mean,
Well,
like I
thank you.
said, majority of my life. So um I I I I just want to learn how to be smooth like Derek.
Smooth like DC. You're gonna be smooth like
Smooth
smooth.
with the confidence. If anybody knows Derek, Derek talks with very smooth confidence. Even if he didn't know what it is, he's gonna give you the and most intelligent answer and be so smooth and confident with it.
That's
It'll
that's
just blow
probably
your
one of the highest compliments I've ever received, Dre. Thank you. Thank you so
very
much.
smooth. It's very confident.
I guess to answer that question, I just try to love everybody, which is an easy thing for everybody to say. But what I really try to do is have an answer to not think evil of a person. Man, try to think of when somebody say this about that person, I think, well, maybe that person had a bad upbringing, or maybe that person didn't eat or sleep well at night, or maybe that person's not feeling well, or maybe, my mother used to say butter doesn't even melt in your mouth, does it? Because I always try to be encouraging. And I was talking to a person I needed a key from in the subdivision I live in, but she was talking about how people think that she's evil. I said, well, I love talking to people that are evil myself because they always talk nice to me, or either my presence or something about whatever I do, they're not evil anymore. So I'm not sure what that is, Dre, if that's something you can learn to do. But I always try and think good thoughts about. If you saw that thing with Eddie Murphy and he says makes his thoughts clean as the water, I try to think that way and be as clean thoughts, and my oral presentation would be good to everybody that I meet. So that's what I do. I try to do that. Someone else told me I was very upfront though. So you don't cut any corners.
No,
I thought I did. I didn't cut enough corners for you, but I'm a little too direct sometimes, they say, but
don't
I
change.
try to be truthful and be honest.
Don't change. You're perfect just the
Don't
way you
change.
are. Don't change.
Okay.
Next
Well,
question. Another question. I'm gonna take you off
okay,
that.
sure.
Do all your bases have a special name?
They do, but they all start with a B. And why I did that, because my mom named me, my brother, and my sister with D's. My sister's name is Danya, my brother's name is Dale, and my name is Derek. So I name all my bases Becky and Beverly, and it goes on, man. They all have B names, and don't think of that B name, not that one. Some of you listeners, I can tell where you're gonna take this, but yeah, they all have names. But um, when I was younger, I was really into their names and stuff like. But I don't really present the name of base to people or anything like that anymore, like I used to. I mean, right now they know me, I know them. We don't call each other's name. So, but and I'll say this to those who are listening, and I'll let it go. I kind of talk to all mechanical things. When I was teaching robotics and repairing robots, I would talk to the robot just personal between me. What's wrong with you? Why you down? These people need you. You need to be fixed. What do you need me to do? Tell me what you need me to do. So I talk to equipment Why, like some things you bring me that were broke. Let's
Mhm.
see what's wrong with you. Why you not performing? So it's just something I do. And it just helps me try to imagine what their answer would be. And that would help me resolve whatever the problem was many times. I said, oh, your wire's not why didn't you say that at first? I would have connected your wire a long time ago. Oh, you're missing the battery. All right. All right. I'm glad we got this talk. We had this talk and we fixed this. So that's just the way I do things. It just makes life a lot easier for me. But thank you for
Mhm.
the compliment. And thank you for Andre Hutchinson being on the circuit show on Tell Me Tuesday. Tell Me Tuesday. Andre, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it. Of course, if there's anything you need me to do, don't hesitate to ask. And I look forward to seeing other engagements, things that you're doing. You got that show coming up or anything? Anything big? No show
Mm.
coming up? Nothing big?
Just the usual, my usual stuff.
Yeah. Because your school started what day? It started last week, didn't it? Or a couple weeks ago?
It started a couple weeks ago.
Okay. All right. All
We've been
right.
up and running for a couple of weeks, and yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, I hope you guys check out the school. It's a great school. I've been there. I've been there. It's putting it together and made a few suggestions here and there. But yeah, I look forward to seeing other students there. So, all right. Peace, Dre. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Did that go?